r/ForeverAlone. Deleted says, do couples know they're sending out suicide waves all around them? Right now I'm on a bus, and there's a couple having fun kissing. I want to die, and I can see on other people's faces that they're suffering as well, and trying to block it out. If I was in a relationship I would definitely be aware of this, and feel guilty about it. I would feel like standing in front of starving children and eating McDonald's. It would weigh on me a lot that I'm actively triggering suicidal thoughts in other people constantly. Do couples generally have any awareness of this? I would be thinking about it every day, how there's probably someone who I was the last straw for killing themselves. But do they even know? Relevant Werewolf 12 says, most don't know. They don't know your situation. It's not like they are going to some ForeverAlone convention purposely trying to antagonize you. Old Region 9779 says, the thing is, your suffering doesn't come from seeing them being happy, it comes from you being miserable. When you're miserable you make everything into torture. When you're happy, everything is fine. About people in love, when you are truly in love, the outside world disappears, even you disappear, there's only the beloved. Intelligent Day 5954 says, like seeing a happy family with a newborn baby and feeling terrible because you've wanted your own baby but haven't been able to have one. It's not the happy family with a baby that's doing anything, it's the misery of the other person looking at them. Hearts Alive 89 says, no, you lunatic. Disastrous 17674 says, couples aren't aware of this BC. It's not exactly the norm to feel personally attacked by seeing two happy people together. FML 1,234,543 says, doesn't matter if they know, they aren't doing anything wrong. Efficient Baker 1694 says, no. Most of them wouldn't think they are sending out suicide waves just by being affectionate to each other. If they didn't know, most even wouldn't care. They'll say it's your problem and give out generic advice. I'd go some in random says, if I ever found a partner, I sure as hell wouldn't display it as much as normie couples do, lol. But to answer your question, probably not. People just live in their own bubbles and far is a very obscure topic. Ravens 1970 says, that reminds me of something I saw recently. I was walking into a store and a couple was holding hands, and as they were about to get in the car they kissed. I thought that must be nice to have somebody to kiss. r/ForeverAlone. Crazy Confusion 3817 says, feeling at my lowest after being offered money for my virginity from fellow far guy. I met this guy in one of little support groups for people who need to vent sometimes. There was a girl's post that she had no relationship experience at 30 and I commented on it, supporting her and shortly speaking about my similar experience. He liked my comment and DM'd me. We've been talking for 2 to 3 months, sharing pretty personal stuff. Hes 35, a kissless virgin hoss, never had a girlfriend, even though he could actually attract a woman. He had a few dates, but wanted a pure girl with no experience. I'm also 33 years old woman and a virgin, so we got along, not only because of similar experience, but because of similar age. Although I didn't exactly share his values about only wanting a pure guy, I'd prefer someone with not much experience and no ons and FWB situations, but I'd never judge guys for that, just that I'd like a man who had 1 to 2 serious relationship before me at maximum. Not at any point our conversation got sexual, he was respectful. I liked him, he was nice and easy to talk to. Sometimes we'd text well into the night, cold and stopped talking. Then August came, and I'm in between of changing jobs, but I didn't manage to find a job because I got sick with severe otitis flare up in both ears that made me almost deaf for 3 weeks. I live with my mother and bedridden grandma in the smallest flat, and I wasn't even able to afford my usual medication. I used antibiotics that I had left and it only worsened my otitis. I was in extreme pain. He knew all of that. He conveniently disappeared for a while, only asking how I was doing, and he'd reply okay each time. I felt so disgusted and decided not to talk to him anymore. Then one morning he texted me with, "I don't want to wait anymore, I want to try sex. It'll pay you $450 plus train tickets to my city. You'll come, stay for 2 nights, then you'll leave." I know it's immoral, but it puts a great psychological pressure on me. Well, I thought you would be interested in the money. I can't even express what I felt. All my life I've been struggling with bills, school and taking care of my elderly grandparents, helping my mom who has a heart condition. I didn't have time for anything else and barely had anyone showing interest in me, and everyone left when learned about my problems. He had somewhat of a similar experience, save for the money problems. I thought I found someone who understood. And all that time I was just a piece of meat to him. When I was talking about how I cried for hours when grandma got diagnosed with dementia, he listened and thought how to exploit my vulnerability to get what he wanted. And if that was the first time, no. When my grandfather died, a friend offered me to pay for his funeral in exchange for nudes. Then guys offered me money for services when I anonymously shared my struggles on a forum. I'm done. I'm so done. I'm not even a human being to far guys, just a HLE to buy, exploit an. Competitive Shift 99 says, dudes like this give us all a bad name. It's no fun for us either when women experience something like this and then project it onto the rest of us. Also, aside from the sleaziness of the proposition, $450 is an insultingly low amount. Leads me to think it wasn't serious, but just meant as an insult to terminate the relationship. Axios Verum says, I often encourage men to engage the services of prostitutes on this subreddit as an escapee myself. Here's the other side. Op is not a prostitute. Just because some women are comfortable doing it does not mean all are. It's one thing when a woman sells it. It's another thing when a man offers to buy it unprompted. Don't take him up on the offer if it makes you uncomfortable. Successful Green 7341 says, as a dude, I hate dudes who do this shit. Like it's not hard enough with bad people like this. You can hit up other places if you want to pay for sex. Stupid shitty dude, sorry you had to deal with this. Chance 1829 says, don't get your feelings be affected like that. You have power over that guy, and so revert by saying, I would consider it at a price much higher than what you offered, $15,000. And you have to pay it in advance. I can guarantee now he will feel low and powerless. You don't have to mean it, of course. He will feel the effect nonetheless. Recruit General says, when I was 24 I actually wanted to sell my virginity. I talked to a guy, he was around 32-35, apparently good guy, was recommended to me by another woman. First few messages he seemed okay. Money he was willing to pay was not much in my opinion, but we talked more. I was on the fence of should I or should I not. But the conversation turned badly really quick when I showed him my picture and turned out I had some tattoos and piercings. For some reason, according to this guy, if you have them, you are a hoe. He said that when we will meet to make a deal, he will FCK and RPE me and my other hole. He was so into anal RPE that I freaked out and just blocked him. And since then I've met few guys who did not believe me that I have barely any experience just because of my tattoos and many force kink and at sex into conversation. And that just makes me not wanting to even look for anyone. r/ForeverAlone. Black Knights 321 says, For long time forever alone people, has being single for so long made you picky about who you'd want to be involved with on a romantic level? Like what I mean is that you've been independent and doing stuff on your own, taking care of your responsibility all on your own for so long that you kind of found some sort of comfort and peace of mind in it. And by letting someone into your life, you run the risk of that comfort and peace of mind being jeopardized. I've been far for a very long time and there were a few instances where I could have gotten out of far status, but I never took the chance because I'm my mind. If I find the tiniest thing wrong with said person, then I'm just completely turned off by the idea of dating them. There was one girl who expressed feelings for me a while back and I kindly turned her down, and I never told her why, but from what I was seeing, she liked getting attention from a lot of guys. And I was really put off by that. I did entertain the idea before of maybe starting something romantic with her, but I knew in the back of my mind in the long run, it was not going to work out. Because in the past, I used to be with someone who was constantly seeking attention from other people. And I would stress myself out, even at work, thinking if she's with other men, and sure enough, she was, on an intimate level. So yeah, been there, done that, never again. I guess she got her feelings hurt that I turned her down and started acting really weird when I was hanging with our mutual friends who know what happened. But I don't know if it's just me being picky with people I want to take to that level with, since I've been single for so long, and there are many times where I do miss being with someone, but I do not want to get involved with someone who's just going to make me wish I was single again. Simply off mic says, I mean my standards are as follows. 1. Are they in decent shape? Meaning are they not obese? 2. They aren't awful people. 3. They like me as a person. That's it, man. Though even that bar feels too high at this point. Advan said Arazi says, I used to not be picky because I was so desperate. Then I met people who only wanted what I could provide. Now I don't even want a partner. I struggle with finding and maintaining a friendship. Until I can do that, romantic relationships are gonna be as distant as the horizon. Icewing Angel says, hard to say, since as far as I'm aware I've never had anyone interested in me. So, my only point of reference is one-sided infatuations I've held. In that respect I believe it's just made me more assured that it simply is never going to happen. Gloomgoat says, I have an idealistic expectation of love. The kind of love you see in the movies. Which is unrealistic, especially for someone like me. I would be lucky if someone wanted to be my friend, let alone want a relationship with me. It's depressing for me to think that I've never been in a relationship and it'll always be that way while everyone around me is living the life I want. Netobiathanized says, the opposite for me. I would take anyone who wasn't abusive. Bitterad 2877 says, I was picky a long time ago. Being single for so long has actually made me less picky. And yet he complains, says, far for 25 years, KHHV. My standards are barely existent at this point in my life due to the overwhelming lack of love I've been shown in life, but I have no interest in dating single mothers. However, when I have shared this standard in the past I have been severely chastised for what I believe to be their view, that I'm not deserving of a woman's undivided attention. Cherubin0 says, at first, but now I reduced it to minimal requirements. But not being an evil person is already a difficult level to match for most people, it seems. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.